You're going to watch. This is unbelievable. I then am speaking to him about Christians being persecuted, and he laughs in my face at the concept of Christian persecution. We are the most persecuted religion in the world, and I am so sick of it. I am so sick of there can only be one victim narrative,
Candace,
and if you start talking about
a Christian, and we are not the most persecuted in the world.
That is a fact. Do you know what's happening in Armenia? Do you know what's happening in Nigeria? Do you know what just happened in Canada? Do you think it's acceptable to laugh when someone tells you about Christian persecution? Because let me tell you something. If I had done that, if I had laughed about the Holocaust, I would be chased out of polite society. They are still being persecuted right now. So I take great offense to you coming in here about the sensitivities of the people that are working on your show when I'm sitting here telling you that I'm a Christian and I'm offended by what you're saying, and you laugh, you mock Christian persecution. Then don't laugh. Don't laugh at Christian persecution. Don't do it.
Laughable mean that the name is in the term. It's
do
laughable.
Not laugh. You literally just laughed when I talked about Christian persecution. Don't do that ever again. Not in my presence.
The album is called Holy F.
No, it's called Holy.
Okay, all right. Well, let me.
Don't be deceived. God is not mocked. You can't mock God.
For women's rights, they judge you, they judge Christ. Godspeed for women's rights.
I don't care about your damn religion. I'm so tired of having nonstop conversations about what the Bible says.
Or you can't sneer at God. You cannot insult him. In the last time, there will be mockers following after their own ungodly lust.
In 2023, Brazil held a Satan parade where they had somebody dressed up as the devil beating and torturing Jesus with a pitchfork, while hundreds of onlookers celebrated it. What occurs after is truly terrifying.
Catastrophic rainfall slamming southeast Brazil, now killing at least 46 people. Entire roads washed away in the downpours. Nearly 800 people are left homeless, and at least 1,700 are now displaced. Officials expecting the death toll to continue rising, with more than 36 people still unaccounted for.
Why does sinful man insist on warring with God? As crazy as that sounds.
Now y'all know when I give a disclaimer in a video, I'm about to get real. So this is my disclaimer in advance. This is coming from a place of passion, and I don't expect everyone to agree with me, but I'm about to stand on business, as they say. And by the end of this video, I hope that encourages you too to stand on business. Now let's get into this video. First, hey friend, welcome to my channel, Creating Elude Mental Gems. This channel is dedicated to leveling up in all areas of your life. So let us learn together, read together, but most importantly, grow together. Now, without further ado, let's get into this video. This topic comes along with notice through the years. On YouTube, I've had to unsubscribe to a lot of people that I really loved or grew up listening to, and I didn't used to see a problem with their content before when I was in a different place in my life. But as I started to really work on my spiritual journey and being connected with God and, you know, remove some things out of my life, there was a lot of things I had to go, just like certain music just didn't feel right anymore.
You're a Christian and then you start listening to this music again. Can we talk about how you listen to lyrics differently? Like, for example, that song, In New York, Concrete Jungle, meanie. Have y'all listened to the lyrics? It says, Hail Mary to the city, you a virgin. Jesus can't save you. Life starts when the church ends. Did y'all know that song said that? Y'all hear Jay-Z's line in it?
Certain movies didn't feel right, shows that I used to love, sources of entertainment, conversations, and even people, friendships, relationships, they just didn't feel right. And eventually I kept feeling compelled to start anew, to start fresh, to even in terms of what I found entertaining, etc. And it came to be that on YouTube, I didn't realize how many witches I was subscribed to, or people that dabble in the occult and spiritualism and things like that. And the reason why it started to be a problem for me is because I noticed that a lot of these people, I'd be subscribed to them, and for one topic, whether it's recipes or cooking or femininity, when it used to be femininity, I used to be heavy in that. I'd subscribe to a lot of the femininity girlies, or, class, elegance, stuff that I like, lifestyle, makeup, whatever. And eventually their rhetoric started to change to convince women that were watching their channels to not be Christian. God is not real. You guys are stupid, ignorant. And it started becoming that back and forth with Christians. And at first I was like, okay, everyone can have their beliefs. I know there's a lot of people that watch me that don't necessarily believe in what I believe in. And when I was in college, I had a lot of atheist friends that we would just debate, go back and forth with each other, but then we'll have lunch, we'll talk, and I have no problem with talking to any group, because that is the Christ-like character. When Jesus was on earth, he spoke and communed with sinners, which is one of the reasons why the Pharisees hated him. Like, you're eating with a lady of the night, a woman who sells her body, and thieves, and it was a thief on a cross that he gave grace to, etc. Murderers even. So grace and love is for everybody. So I'm like, I'm not a person that tries to convert people. I share my experiences, my stories. It is not my job to convert or change anybody. That is God. I can only be me, tell you my experiences, my truth. This is what my channel is about. But I don't have the intention of anyone watching to be converted to anything, or to be offended by my beliefs and what I know to be truth for me, Just like I'm not going to go on someone's channel and be offended by their beliefs. But once I realize, hey, my beliefs really don't mesh with yours, and you're getting into the territory of you're intentionally being offensive. You're intentionally dismissing a whole side of your audience. Imagine if I just got on here because I'm Christian, I just started down talking Buddhist every chance that I get. Eventually, even Christians would be like, sis, give it up. Kareem, what are you doing? Even other Christians might call me out. Why is that what you're doing? And even the Lord don't call us to speak about our experiences in hate of any other group, right? So I started noticing that with what happened to the wholesome content? I didn't subscribe for this, to where it was a back and forth, and it was this superiority of Christians or anyone who believes in God and the Bible still. You're so ignorant. You're so dumb. You're so stupid. I don't care how educated you are. That basically, it was kind of like that. And I was like, whoa. I started to get offended for my Lord. And it was becoming to me, blasphemous in the point of even making jokes about God or mocking God and stuff. And I was like, okay, Christianity gets a lot of that. And I know even those creators wouldn't dare get on their cameras and talk about any other religious group like that. They wouldn't come and talk about Jews like that, or Islam. They wouldn't come and talk about Buddhists like that, or any other religion. They have high reverence for every other religion. But for some reason, Christianity is the faith that people play around with. It could be a fashion trend. It could be in music, any kind of way. They can just disrespect people of that faith any kind of way. And it's crazy. And even as a Haitian, if I'll share some of my testimonies in terms of voodoo and spirit possession and demonic worship, and why I do not participate in that cultural aspect of Haiti, I'll find Americans that will come and fight me. We're like, sis, I was born in Haiti. If I was born in Haiti, I witnessed these things for myself. How dare you tell me why I should not be Christian? I'm offending you about something that's part of my culture and why I don't participate in it? I would find that a lot, where they try to educate me on where I was born. I don't need education from you. With all due respect, how can you educate someone? It's like someone, I don't know, in Singapore that never came to the United States, because y'all never stepped foot in that world. You just read a couple books here and you get the waist beads and all of those, symbolism. And then you feel like you're an expert, you never even witness anything real in your life, but you feel like an expert to try to educate me. It's like someone in Singapore that's never been to America trying to tell me about America, trying to teach me of some cultural aspects where I say, hey, I don't do this. I don't subscribe to this ideology in America because I lived it firsthand. It's not good for me, blah, 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 or Orlando or whatever, or Florida. How you gonna tell me if you never even been here, right? So it got to that point where those same people are into those different types of spiritualism for whatever reason. I don't mind it, and it was becoming that. And I'd just be like, okay, let me unsubscribe. And the boldest one was someone I was subscribed to for a very long time. I just flat out bragged about putting a spell on somebody in a hex. Oh, don't mess with me before I go do a hex, like beefing with other creators. And this was your threat. I was bewildered. And the Lord showed me, yeah, people are bold. They're bold in their beliefs. People are bold when they speak against God. They're bold when they want to talk about casting spells and witchy, like trendy, witch morning rituals or whatever, or reading their tarot cards and stuff. And this is no offense to anybody. Like I said, I'm keeping it real, okay? And I'm not encouraging anyone to be converted or to be offended. If this really ruffles your feathers, I'm sorry, this video is just not for you. But I'm keeping it real. When you talk to somebody that's into the whole horoscopes, universe, tarot cards and stuff, they're bold with it. They put it on their bios, on their Instagrams, on their videos, their names, their fashion. They'll walk with the evil eye on their necks and stuff like that. And they'll walk with the eye of Horus or Isis and all of this. And they'll tell you it's cultural, it's this, it's that, whatever. And one thing I've learned is that we as Christians, we're timid. We're timid, but they're bold. You're scared to even post a Bible verse on your story. That used to be me. And people could be like, Kareem, why are you bringing up Horus and Isis and all of this? Listen, I know with the people with culture and all of this, and to not sound arrogant, like I'm not saying this in any form arrogance. If I could show y'all my library, just the different types of books and Bibles and archaeology and history, what I watch, who I'm actually around, where I've actually visited, to know, and what I've experienced, you would know that I'm not disrespecting culture. But one thing in my limited years that the Lord has given me in my limited years is that culture, just because it's culture, does not mean it needs to be preserved or it's right. That might, if you disagree with that, I understand. But me, that's the understanding that I came with. Because part of the voodoo culture, yes, they have different sectors of it. They call it light and dark magic and this and that. Call it whatever you want. But I'm from a place where they used to literally eat kids, eat babies for sacrifices. I've seen demonic possessions that make people do unspeakable things, like take out their whole families with no remorse, and the spirit leave them. They don't even know it came over them. Not mental illness. These people's voices transformed. There's been people that transformed their whole physical being, serving these deities, these fallen angels, because that's all they are, in the midst of them, talking to them, inspiring them, giving them formulas in their dreams as ancestor, even ancestor worship. It's all cultural, even in Haiti, where I'll be, ancestor came in a dream and told me da-da-da-da. It's all demonic, because once people die, they die. And in this same token, people will say, okay, because voodoo is culture, it predates all of these other religions, it goes way, way back. Should we preserve something that sacrifices kids as culture? Should we call on to deities and spirits because of culture that takes you and make you want to harm yourself, cut your flesh, and purge your blood to them? Because a lot of these spirits, as you're worshiping them and you're doing rituals for them, they call for you to purge your own life, which is your blood. Some terrible things. And there's so many stories I could tell you guys, which I've started to say in most of my videos, even with me, what I've been through, why I believe in God without a shadow. I believe him for myself. Nobody had to tell me. I didn't have to read. I experience him. He speaks to me. And I know intimately the relationship I have with God. And you can look the devil in the face and know there is a God. And one of the things I know is that in Haiti, no matter what, you voy loi about, like they send loi to you to come attack you and this and that. That name alone, Jesus, Yahweh, make all of them flee. And there's been people that come and testify that, oh, they tried to do this to this. Like I did a video on delusional gratitude, and I gave the story of the other lady tried to, take her out of here with a powder and how the Lord came through. The Lord, miracles happen all the time. I say in Haiti, I always say it's either you're into that life or you're into God. There's no in between. You cannot be lukewarm. Okay. And it's like that in the islands, Caribbeans, America, and European countries have the ability to be lukewarm in a sense, because occultism is like more glam valley, like an aesthetic. It's an aesthetic for you guys, for most people, where it's the beads, it's the crystals, it's the tarot, it's the universe, the manifestation, this, that, and that. It's like very aesthetic. It's trendy that even sleep paralysis has become trendy and something glamorized. I just don't understand why do you guys play with demons like that? Stuff that y'all don't know. I just don't know. But what's in my heart that's been telling me is the Lord has been like, Kareem, you need to stand on business too. Stand on business. Speak up. We need people to speak up. Daniel and the 3 Hebrew boys, they spoke up when everyone else around them was living away. They stood out. They spoke out. You watching this message might be for you. It might be for you. I pray over who watches my videos. Whether you like it or not, you heard the message. Whether you agree with me or not, you heard it, because I prayed over it. That God brings people to watch that he calls to watch. So if this is for you, for whatever reason, stand on business for God. Stand on business against your family. Stand on business against your friends, your spouse, your neighbors, your workplace. Stand on business for him. Stand on business for him. Stop allowing your faith, your God to be mocked. God will not be mocked. He will not be mocked. But also, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. You let the Lord fight the battles, but you stand up, you speak. If it's in your heart to speak, I don't agree with this, then speak. Speak. God doesn't call us to hurt or be disrespectful, be vulgar, to turn people away from the word. There's a way you deliver messages to people. You could turn them away, with hate. And a lot of Christians don't know the difference. And there's a lot of people that are hurt because of that, because you don't know how to give a message without hate and vileness. And you take the example of Jesus and how he spoke, even someone as Moses, you take examples of how they presented the message, and don't present it with so much hate. Because first and foremost, God showed us that he was love, and that when his son came, his son was around the sinners, those who were broken, those that even betrayed him. He wasn't around perfect people. He didn't come for perfect people. He came for the sinners. Me, you. You think I'm perfect? No. I've lived my life. I've been exposed to some things. I turned my back against God before. And he snatched me up, and I will never let him go again. I've seen what's out there in the world. And trust me, honey, ain't nothing for real. And you might be temporarily blinded, offended. I used to be the type, if I hear a message, I'll be so repulsed. It was that demonic spirit that was hovering around me that would make me so repulsed to hearing truth, to being set free. I'd be annoyed at anyone that was standing on business for God. You think you're perfect? You think you're this? You think you're that? I was that person, because light exposes your own darkness. So I avoided light. I avoided people who had light. I avoided truth. Fear comes with guilt. A lot of us, we know the way we're living, and the guilt of it makes us afraid of God. And I'm telling you, perfect love casts out fear. God is love. Seek him, and his love will work on you over time. Over time, life is a journey, not a destination. You never arrive. You will need him over and over again. Every time you fall, you never arrive. There's times I've been feeling like, oh, I'm finally perfect. I haven't cursed. I haven't this. I haven't that. And then guess what? I'm humbled. Right then and there, I fall. Somebody get me out of character. I thought a thought I shouldn't have thought. I did something. The Lord tells me, sis, you will never arrive. But that's why I died for you. My grace is sufficient. This keeps me from judging others, from being hard on other people, from feeling superior, that I'm no better than anybody. But one thing I will not do is no longer be afraid to speak about my beliefs, that I believe in God. That makes me uncool. If you lose subscribers, if you lose followers, I've had people that unfollow me from Instagram once I started my mental gym spot speaking about God a little bit more. It irritated them, and they'd unfollow me, they'd unsubscribe, they'd make it be known they're not with this. And at first I was like, dang, you've been loyal for so long, when I wasn't really expressing my beliefs. But the Lord is like, girl, who cares? Whoever needs to watch. I do not care for 1 million subscribers on my mental gyms. I do not care. Because like I said, I pray over who watches. Even if it was 500 people that needed the message, may they receive it. As long as I'm standing on business for God. Because there's enough creators. There's enough people that's bold about their beliefs. We don't have enough people that are just firmly standing on what they believe, and they don't care the backlash that they get for it. It is what it is. They're speaking against dark entities, governments, powers that be, experiments, etc. Those people are not popular. They're getting canceled. They're getting dragged. And we played a role in it. Everyone has their calling, their platform for specific things. And I know there's a lot of creators that watch me. I befriend you guys. There's a lot of creators I watch, right? Everyone has their niche where I'm not a political girly. I'm not a medical girly. I'm not what other genres like law or whatever. Every genre, God needs his people in every genre. I'm more mental health, these talks, big sis advice, book clubs, self-development, self-healing, trauma. Because to serve God the right way, you need to heal. I could not have this strong a faith that I do now if I wasn't healing, if I wasn't reading the books, if I didn't, do the self-development and understanding human nature and stuff like that. So that is a niche that is necessary, where I don't have to come on here and talk medical or talk politics or talk this, that, whatever with you guys. It's not my niche, but there's people that's their niche. I can share an interest in it, but that's not my niche, if you get my point. So whatever your niche is, stand on business for God in that niche. Stand on business for God in that niche. Stop being afraid of standing out, being against the grain. Stop looking at everything as trendy, you know? And I know it's unpopular to say, and people think you're ignorant when you're like this, but how dare you guys speak down on Christians and their faith and their belief, their God, like our God, but then be offended if we speak out against these things. Yeah, like you could literally find the vilest content against people of faith.
You are not going to believe all of these celebrities are mocking Jesus. Watch.
Madonna on the cross. P. Diddy on the cross. Nas on the cross. Tupac on the cross.
Notice it's never any other religion.
In a musical promoting homosexuality, Jack Black played the role of Jesus.
Doesn't fix our hair, and our love's not a sin. Well, the Bible says it's so.
Well, the Bible says a lot of things, you know?
Jesus Christ!
Hey, how's it going?
Jesus and Christianity is always the one taking the heat. Hard to come by them trying this with any other religion.
A lot of people come up here and they thank Jesus for this award. I want you to know that no one had less to do with this award than Jesus. He didn't help me a bit. So all I can say is, suck it, Jesus. This award is my God now.
This is insane. Not only does it show a lack of respect for the divine, but it also shows a lack of respect for those who believe in God. Listen to Christian Acceptance Speech, who has won an Academy Award as well as 2 Golden Globe Awards.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
Satan is doing all he can to take center stage. Netflix, the big tech streaming company, allowed on their platform a movie portraying Jesus as gay. In the show, you will see Jesus coming home with his gay partner to meet his family. They also portrayed Mary, the mother of Jesus, as a weed smoker. The world loved this kind of shows and movies that make a mockery of Jesus. The show won an award. They went on to release another show portraying Jesus as a drunk called The Last Hangover, and they won an award for it. In an ironic twist, the people receiving the award also mocked Jesus right on stage. Christianity has unfortunately been subjected to a history of disrespect and unfavorable comparison with other religions. It has been regularly demeaned and constantly vilified by its detractors.
Online, with no repercussions, no one bats an eyelash. But the minute a Christian calls out something, let's cancel this person. You have people boldly telling you they cast spells on other creators, on people they're beefing with. That's not crazy to y'all? That's not crazy to y'all. A lot of you guys are subscribed to witches, and y'all know they're witches. And you're a Christian, you know you shouldn't be watching. Slowly over time, you're being programmed. You're being programmed. You're being programmed.
If they like your music, they're listening to it over and over and over. It's programming. And they might try some of those things they hear you talk about. I had a conversation with Future one time in the studio, and he said something that I will never forget. And he laughed while he said it. He was like, yeah, you know, people be thinking I'm really doing a lot of drugs because I rap about it all the time. But they don't even be knowing I'm a lightweight. There are a lot of people that are huge Future fans, for instance. And that's how they're going to feel closer to him, because they're doing what they're hearing him rap about.
And I knew it was necessary for me to quit, like judge a tree by its fruits. Even with some of the femininity girlies I was watching, the elegance and level up content, I was starting to see the way the speech was turning into using people, seeing men as literally just a bag of money. I'm like, did God not create men too? Does he not love men? If he loves me, he cares for me, he protects me, I would want him to be the same for my husband. I'm not understanding where it started so positively and now it's money. Be with someone that can take care of you, the biggest bag, and this materialistic lovers of self, teaching young girls to love their physical selves only, and material possession, no substance, no growth, no healing. It's hard to watch how we're shifting in terms of content in that era where it's like people will be lovers of themselves and obsessed with just acquiring, using people, and just looking down on people and casting spells to the people they're watching. There's people that literally cast spells on the people that's watching them to stay hooked. And y'all hooked, y'all obsessed, y'all are like, y'all defend these people with your life. Some musicians have spoken out. I believe Nicki Minaj was speaking on Future. I shared it on my Instagram story. But he doesn't, do as many substances for real as he sings about. He's really lightweight. But a lot of people that listen to his music believe that he does. And so they do it too. And those people are kids. And the whole time, Future's not doing it for real. And Nicki said out of her own mouth, yeah, the music is programming. Sis, your music is programming too. Barbs, you call out a Barb, you say anything bad about Nicki or anything like that. See how these people with their lives, they will give their lives for this woman. But she knows what it is. She said it out of her own mouth. It's programming. And it's not just music. It's not just movies. It's not just entertainment. It's the creators you're watching. It's your friends around you, even family. Like, it's a lot of people I had to cut off, family or not. You want to be in that lifestyle? You want to indulge in spiritualism and magic? You cannot be in my life, family or not. Family or not. You will not be in my life. I don't, And that sounds cruel, but honestly, there were people that would indulge in that life that were close to me, and they're always trying to convert you or demean you and your beliefs. It was a constant battle, constant battle. Even if you don't want to bring the subject there, they bring it there. It's like they're annoyed by your faith. It's like, at this point, you cannot be in my life. No one that's annoyed by me standing on business for God is going to be in my life. Period. Stand on business for God. It's unpopular, but he who denies me in front of man will be denied in front of the Father. Stand on business for God. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next one.